Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, or good morning, depending on where you're at. Happy Saturday. Um, how is everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? What's going on, Tevco? What's going on, Youngblood? How are we starting our weekend out thus far? What's going on, PS5, the only one? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. How is everybody doing today? Can't flip much, finger hurt so much. If you saw my story, I did. I think, I'm pretty sure. My week, PS5, the only one, was okay. It was all right. I survived it. What's going on, Java? How are we doing today? Um, yeah, it was a pretty uneventful but productive week, so no real complaints there. What about you guys? How was everybody's week? Anybody do anything fun and exciting? Hmm. Oh, that was not good. Oh, apparently I am on top chat because I must not be catching everything. Oh, what's going on, Silas? How are you doing today? I'm doing well. How are you? PS5, the only one, says their week was good. Glad to hear it. I am familiarizing myself this week. I have been working on familiarizing myself with the choker fan on all of my Ballys because I started learning the choker fan. I started really trying to learn the choker fan on Monday. It was the first time I actually successfully started getting the hang of it and was able to land one. But originally, the only ballad song that I could land one on was my Opus V2. Well, the Opus V2 that I have on loan. And then I started branching out and was able to land it on. Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, the first one I landed it on was the Orion S. And then I learned that I could do it even better on the Opus V2. But then started getting it with the Crescent, started getting it with the Refault. And at this point, I have successfully landed a choker fan with every Bally that I have, including the Squiddy U, which I had really been struggling to. Oops, that was a rain of shame. Really struggling to get any rotations whatsoever on. So, yeah, I'm happy with my progress thus far. What's going on, Spark? How are we doing today? Let's see. About a trade. You're trading your Prisma Pro? Really? Interesting, young blood. What's going on, Jason? Welcome to the show. Mel, what's going on? Beard is legendary today, or more legendary today than last stream. The funny thing is, the beard is just uh, what is the word I'm trying to think of? The beard is the means with which I'm trying to get the mustache back so that I can have the mustache. But the more I am growing the beard and thickening up the mustache, the more I am liking the beard and unsure of whether or not I want to go back to just having the mustache or not. So that's a tough decision that I'm sitting at right now. Um, And then, ooh, a Scorpion tipped rep is what you're trading the Prisma Pro for. Very cool. Is it an authentic rep, I'm assuming, or is it a clone? Rest in peace, Prisma Pro, Youngblood. I'd rather have a rep than a Prisma Pro, to be honest. I'll flip it more. Man, I keep ring of shaming it. And the Prisma Pro flips odd, and I can actually mod a rep. Very, very true. Act is in the house. Hello, Act. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? But yeah, so that's, I mean, my Bali focus this week has been on getting the choker fan down, and I'm not great at it yet, but I've been able to start feeding it into some combos and successfully landing it with more Bally's. I've actually been able to successfully land it with all of my Bally's thus far. I'm about to try it with the, yeah, I knew that wasn't going to work, with the Squiddy U. This one has, it feels so chalky in the hand. Oftentimes when I try to do it with the Squiddy U, it just, I can't get the grip that I need to get those rotations in. So this is the hardest one that I have to do the choker fan with thus far. Oh man, I'm doing all that on the bite handle. Ugh. Spark is entering lurking mode. No problem, my friend. At work, down to cook, so I'm now the cook for the day. Awesome. Have fun cooking. So you're going to be lurking too? No worries. My live knot will be getting dulled in, or I'm tired of this razor blade stuff. I can understand and I can appreciate where you're coming from with that. I dull, that's why I dull everything that I can dull, and the only stuff that I can't dull is the stuff that is on loan. But and on that right now is just the Opus V2, and I'm getting more comfortable flipping that one without cutting myself. So I haven't cut myself with that one in a while, and I'm trying to avoid any any major cuts with Blade Show right around the corner. I want to be in flipping state for Blade Show. I don't want to have my hands in a state where it's things are unflippable. So many wind flippers here. Agreed. Agreed. I have great people in the chat. Always have great people in the chat. It's awesome. What are we working on? Speaking of great flippers in the chat, what are these great flippers working on at the moment? Any crazy combos? Any tough tricks? Any Youngblood? You said you're working on a trade for a rep, which is exciting. What all do we have going on in chat these days, belly wise, folks? I have another pass around Bali that's going to be making its way to me hopefully early this week. So that's going to be exciting. Something tells me it's going to be another sharp one, so I'm going to have to be careful with it. Scylla says just experimenting right now. Nice. Might be doing another collab clip if I can find someone. Very cool. Or just do my own clip. Very awesome. I have been trying to get clips here and there. Just got one last night. But I've been trying to focus my clips more on getting outside, and it's been cold this week, so I'm trying not to buy a Glide Kraken, but I'm slowly failing. I want it so bad. Nice. Understandable. I mean, I've heard good things. Java says, I was trying to hit a inverse 0G Pinky Chaplain, but it seems impossible. I remember when I was trying to just hit the regular Chaplin and it seemed impossible. I thought it was an internet hoax for a while because it just didn't seem like there was any possible way that you could do all of that all of that rotation just around a single finger the way that you do. And then once I finally got it, it was like, oh, this is awesome. So while it seems impossible, keep going at it, Java, and I'm sure you're going to get it. But that's exciting. Very cool. All right. Well, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming today, so we can jump right into my talking notes today if you guys want. And what I'll do is I'll just go through all of the talking notes and essentially ignore chat. And then I'll get back to chat when I'm done with the talking notes. Maybe the talking notes will spur conversation. Maybe it will be the beginning of the end. We'll see. But today I'm talking about change and how change can sometimes be scary. If you've known me, which a lot of you guys don't, but if you've been around for a while, you may have also heard me indicate that I love change. I've always thought that change brings new experiences and provides new opportunities. It's always been a thing of excitement for me. But the fact of the matter is that that's only part of the reality where change is concerned. Change brings uncertainty, unfamiliarity, and oftentimes unknown outcomes. People usually know how to handle familiar situations, even those situations that are imperfect. But when things happen to replace those familiar situations and decisions with new, unfamiliar, uncertain situations, it's oftentimes scary. It's not always about just doing things differently, though. Sometimes the fear of change is driven by a deeper concern. What might be lost with this change? What new skills might I have to learn? Sometimes the change is something that people tie back to their identity, and they just feel like they're losing a sense of their self. Sometimes the change is losing a job, which may make you feel like a failure. Sometimes the change is losing the life of a loved one, which may make you feel fragile. Sometimes the change is the end of a relationship, which may make you feel alone. Oftentimes, these sorts of changes leave you feeling like you've lost control of your own life, and that can be a scary feeling. When change leads to fear, it can make life feel very uncomfortable. But growth and discomfort usually show up to the party together. Many positive things in life can be exciting and intimidating at the same time. Things like starting a new job, moving to a new place, learning a new skill, becoming a parent. The thing is, human beings are exceptionally adaptable creatures. Most of us can look back and identify changes that we once feared that we were able to successfully navigate. Everyone faces changes in their lives, and sometimes those changes will inevitably cause you to feel uncomfortable or outright scared. But when you're forced into a change, you're often forced to be creative, practice resilience, and problem solve in a way that you wouldn't have to do if everything remained the same. That's growth, personal growth, even if the outcome of the change wasn't what was desired, even if the change was forced upon you without your own personal interest. Gaining strength in these skills are a benefit to you in the long run. Change often asks us to leave what's familiar before we know what's next. That can be a large part of what makes change scary, but it's also what makes growth possible. So, if any of you out there are dealing with a change that's stressing you out, understand that you're not alone. It happens to all of us. That's not to say that your situation is now less important. Instead, it's to say that there are many who can relate, many who can understand, and many you can reach out to for support. Change happens to all of us, like it or not. It's one of those things that no matter where you are, where you come from, how old you are, or what you do for a living, we all have in common. We're all in this together. There we go. Those are my talking notes for today. Let's see, what do we have in the chat? You aren't leaving. Wait, you aren't leaving yet. The Bali community has stole you. What? Did I hear beginning of the end? You know, you did not hear the beginning of the end. I am not leaving anywhere. Hi, David. Welcome to the show. No problem being late. You saw the ice pick to Ariel. Thank you. Scylla says, well spoken, Unc. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What about you guys? Oh, do you guys, are you guys dealing with, if you're comfortable bringing it up or talking about it? You know, I'm sure some of you guys are dealing with change and uncertainty that you're not necessarily keen on. Then again, I'm sure there are some changes that everybody is looking forward to. I know that anybody who's in school is getting close to summer break coming up here pretty soon. That's pretty exciting, but it's a change. Starting a new school year next year is going to be a change. Some people are going to be moving to a different school because they're moving up in grades. I know one change that I'm looking forward to, but also scared about is Blade Show, in all honesty, because it is such, it's going back to that whole, like, we are used to what we're familiar with. And Blade Show is going to bring so many things that I'm not familiar with. Lots of people that I don't know or haven't met face to face yet. A new area that I have not been, you know, spending a whole lot of time in before. And then what else? Oh, people, lots of people. And I'm not usually around a lot of people. I'm usually around very small groups of people. So being in a convention center like that, around so many people all at the same time, is nerve-wracking also. So, you know, those are some of the things, or that's one of those things that, you know, I can say, you know, that's a change in my norm that I'm excited about, but is also causing me a little anxiety because, you know, I'm not used to it. I'm not sure what it's going to be like, and the unknown can be scary sometimes. David says, you look really good with the beard, Unc. It suits you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I was actually just telling everybody that the whole purpose of the beard is I can't just grow a mustache out because I feel weird about the beginnings of a new mustache. So I grow the full beard out and then I get rid of everything except the mustache. But I'm not sure how quickly I want to get rid of the rest of the beard and bring the mustache back. So let's see. Act says, I get it. I'm stressed about this move I have to do, which my apartment complex is forcing me to. But I'm also looking forward for the change and to start fresh on some things in a new way. Very good. Good way to look at it. But you know, that is not to discount the fact that you are stressed about the move, and that's totally understandable. Spark says, I just graduated. I think CC is that community college? And moving to a new city in a few months for university. Definitely nervous, but very excited. Never moved in my whole life. Gotcha. Well, that is a change that can understandably cause nerves and excitement and anxiousness, and yeah, totally understand. But I'm excited for you. I'm sure everything will work out just fine. Um, and good luck starting at the new university. That's awesome. Man, okay. So I have been sticking with the refault like that whole time. So let's flip something else. That was the wrong handle though. Ouch. Still working on it. Oop. Let's try the crescent. Oof. Yo, Unc, what's up? What's going on, Beaver? How are we doing today? Today our talking notes were on change and how change can be scary, especially those changes that are forced upon us. Um, it's difficult, can be difficult when you're going into a change where you basically have to leave the familiar and without knowing what the next thing is, and how that can be daunting and stressful, but can also spark growth and personal development. Act says my girlfriend wants to paint the apartment this time, and that will be interesting. I just want to know what time we have to what time we will have to do that when when we both work so much. Gotcha. Yeah, I when we moved into our current house, we had finished the basement, and one of the less fun things to do is figure out how we were going to, you know, paint the basement, because that's one of those things where everybody needs to be in agreement. You don't want to uh, have a color picked that one person likes and the other person doesn't, because you know it's going to be up there for a while. But good luck with the move. Good luck with the new apartment, and good luck with finding time to paint it. Oh. Well said, Unc. That's a good topic to discuss because it can be scary. Some changes don't always ask for permission. Exactly. Uh, the rev behind the eight ball is coming along just fine. Ooh, that was not a good example of it, though. We pick up the keys on Monday, so next week will be a hectic one. At least I hired movers for this. Nice. And you're staying in the same apartment complex. You're just literally going up one flight of stairs. Isn't that right, Act? If I recall correctly. So hopefully that's not going to be too bad, but like you said, you have movers, so you should be all right. Yeah. I like I said, I've always liked change. I've always been a big supporter of new things. I used to go through phones like crazy. I used to always like I'm that guy that if I get a new phone, I don't plug in my old phone and do the backup. I always start it from scratch because I really enjoy you know a clean slate. So in that regard, change for me can be, I don't know, fun. But as you said, not all change is asked for. Some change is forced upon you, and those changes can be stressful. I'm sorry, I'm not very into the topic. I just can't relate with it at the moment. So no problem, David. Not an issue whatsoever. Uh, the talking notes are through. We can talk about whatever. We can continue talking about change, or if you have anything else that you want to chat about, by all means, toss it in the chat. Mm. My flipping is not the best today. All right. What else to flip? What else to flip? Mm. What's going on, Matthew? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Hopefully you had a nice week. Hopefully your weekend is off to a good start. Nope. Nope. By the way, I totally forgot that I made you or made a invincible picture for you. Cool. Send it my way. Or are you talking about the one that you already made for me? To which I thank you very much. Not sure who all messaged, but I'm able to go to Blade this year, Unc. My fifth one in a row, 7 in a total. So you are going to Blade Show. Excellent. Wonderful. I am so glad to hear it. Um, very cool. Looking forward to meeting you there. I already did. Okay. Yep. So you're talking about the one that you already sent me, which I thank you so much for. That was really, really cool of you. Ooh. Ugh, man. But your chokers are getting better. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been working on it. not religiously, but pretty regularly this week. But I've been working on it. I've been going through because I don't want to just drill it on a single belly and then be able to get it there, but then not be able to get it on anything else. So I've been working on it on everything. And at this point, I've been able to successfully land it on all of my bellies, though I can't consistently get it on all of my bellies. For example, the Squiddy U, I was able to, but like last night, but can't today because my hands are too dry. This belly is the LDY Kite AL, the Kite AL 1.0, not the 1.5. Who do you get the Opus from, and how do you like it? So the Opus is from Penchetta. Lance, when I went out to Arizona a couple weeks ago, probably about a month ago now, I had gone and checked out Penchetta, met up with Lance. He sent me back with the Opus V2 with a Seraph blade. And I like it. It's a little longer than I'm used to. I really love these Opus handles though. And it's so grippy just by the milling alone that oftentimes I have to check my hands to make sure I don't have anything sticky on it. Ghost Flipping says, what's good? Saying hi, I'm leaving to Cali. Well, have a safe trip. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you have a wonderful weekend and a great trip to California. By the way, I got to try it in Impulse and the Mako V5. Very cool. I'm so glad to hear it. You should find me. Trust I'm in Cali. So yeah, man, I did the aerial without even considering the fact that I always cut myself with this. But yeah, so got this from Lance at Penchetta, and we'll be sending it back soon. Spamming hearts for the algorithm. Thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, this the Opus V2 is without question the one that I can do the choker best on because of the handles. Not all the time, but it's the one I can do it most comfortably in. And Spark says, I'm in Cali. Let's do a meetup. Ooh. Almost cut myself there. Man, this is a scary belly. All right. The hardest, other than the Squiddy U, the hardest one for me to get the choker fan on is the Bandage Stitch V2. There's something about the area that I pinch that it's hard for me to get those rotations. And I don't know why. Because theoretically, there's enough grip there. I should be able to. It just doesn't, that grip doesn't relate or transition into rotation very well for me. It's just solid grip. So I still got to figure that out. But every now and then I can get it. By the way, I'm sorry my chokers aren't the same kind, so my slow-mo I sent you might not have helped. Well, what it did do, though, is it gave me a different way to get into, a different way to get into those types of rotations. So never apologize for sending me something that could help, because even if it doesn't help with what I'm trying to do, it it could still help with something. I was able to, like I said, get a different a different way of building that rotation out of your slow-mo that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten. So no, I appreciate it. No apologies necessary. What do I want to flip? CCC. Nope. Hmm. What's going on, Jax? How are we doing today? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. How was your week? And how has the weekend started off for you thus far? Hopefully, hopefully good. Mm. Too slippery in the hand for me today. What Mako? Flip Gill. And Jax says good. I'm glad to hear it, Jax. Interestingly, Gill, I have been becoming much more consistent with, not just in general flipping, but of all of the Balis that I am continuing to try the choker fan with. Gill is pretty constant, pretty regular. I tend to be able to do well with the choker fan with Gil. Canyon Creeper Loki needs a new Bali. Nah, I love Threes Canyon. Can't wait to get to try it. Oop. Dang it. I've also been working on trying to smooth out the shortstop a little bit, but haven't been making much progress with that. Every now and then, feels like I'm getting somewhere, but not yet. I just always have that pause in the middle. And that's what I'm trying to get past. I really want a squid trainer. Yeah, me too. I miss Ethan's squid trainer. That thing sounded amazing. Mm. Jeez. But I really love my refault right now. Yeah, the refault for me is one of my, definitely one of my go-tos. Um, Specifically the pink refault with the Tonto blade. I like the Tonto blade more than the Bowie, hands down. For me, it flips a whole lot better. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the difference in the scales between the dyed G10 or the pink. So like I had dyed these, whereas this came natural, so they have a little bit different feel to them. This is a little bit slicker. This is a little bit grippier. Um, I mean, aside from that, though, they should essentially be the same except for the blade. And 100% of the time, I will pick the Tonto blade over the Refault blade, um, where the Refault, or over the Bowie blade, for the Refaults, every single time. For me, it flips better. What's going on, Stitch? How are you doing? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekend. Hopefully you had an okay week and your weekend is off to a good start. Let's see. Let's do the Unc Kraken. Man, my flipping is not on point today. What Bali I'm really wanting is an impulse as well. Right after the first flip, I was in love. Nice. I did not have that same experience with the refault or with the impulse when I had first tried it. It was very much lighter than my preferences, and was not nearly handle bias enough for me, because when I had first tried the impulse, I was brand spanking new to flipping, and it was just not what I needed for my comfort. There is a Bali for everybody, and that is a Bali for many people. At the time, it was not a Bali for me, but now that I am more familiar and comfortable with different balance preferences and Bali weights, I am actually interested in trying an impulse again, because I think that I would do much better with it this time around. I don't know what he did, but it had a lot of momentum. Very cool. All right. I am going to put up the be right back sign. I'm going to drop my desk down. I'm going to bring the chair around. I am going to get a little bit more comfortable, but we are not going anywhere yet. So give me a moment. We'll be right back. All right, and we are back. Sorry about that. Let's see, what do we want to flip? Let's try the cheese. Matthew says, I personally love fast flipping. I like slow flipping myself. That's my preference. Nope. There we go. Thoughts on the Create with Nibali's top 10? Let me pull it up. Because I said that I think I had only seen one of them prior to the top 10 coming out, but I may be mistaken. Let me see. Let's see. Where is it? Here we go. Create with Nibalis. A new top 10 and voting opens June 1st. So is there a new top 10? I'm confused. There's only one that is even visible or a visible or viable option to me. Well, I guess I'm going to have to check again on June 1st because it now says that there is a new top 10 and voting that will open on June 1st. So from what I recall, the only one that I immediately identified as having been seen by me before was the Harvest. That's the only one that had really caught my attention what I saw in the top 10. And I do think that the Harvest is going to make its way to the top 3 for a final selection, but we'll see. I really like the, I guess the only feedback that I can give you by way of my impressions of the Create with Nibala's top 10 list was that that I really like the Harvest. I really like the blade shape of the Harvest, and I have confidence that the Harvest will be in the top 3, if not be the final selection. Let's see. And then Act says, I don't know that was a thing. Probably the AI controversy, which I'm not aware of. The Harvest is the only good one that they had, according to Act. I'm not going to say it's the only good one that they had. I didn't really look into very many of them because I know I was kind of rushing around doing a bunch of things at the same time when I first saw that. But I know that, I mean, like I said, I liked the blade shape of the Harvest at least. I personally didn't like the Harvest. My only concern with the Harvest is with it being a harvest, you know, and the, I mean, my understanding, if I recall correctly, is that the handles kind of look like wheat. That kind of locks it into a golden colorway, because I can't see like any, like they're not going to have a blue Harvest. I can't imagine that they would have a blue Harvest or a pink Harvest or a purple Harvest or a teal Harvest. I mean, it would have to be that like golden grainy color. So that's the only drawback that I see with the harvest is the design itself kind of locks you into a single colorway, which I mean, gold isn't really my preferred color. So it doesn't really meet my visual aesthetics in that way. Um, they made the cheese in a bunch of different colors. That's true. That's true. But the cheese, I don't know. I don't know. They could do like a gold green or something. The Sakura Harvest would be tough. A Sakura Harvest would be tough. That would be cool. Um, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see again come June 1st when the new top 10 gets identified. There were a lot that I was completely blown away weren't in the top 10. That I can tell you. So I will be very interested to see what the new top 10 looks like. Hmm. Nope. All right, let's do the Bowie refault. At this point, this is probably like my least flipped Bali because my brain tells me if I'm going to flip a refault, I might as well flip the refault that I flipped better or that I prefer the balance and everything better on. And that is the refault with the Tonto blade. But I mean, it's still a good flipper. Oof. But not my preferred. What will I flip? I'll flip the Community Kraken. I can't wait for the 2027 Create with Abela since I'm working on mine and I'm doing a lot of work with the 3D stuff. Very cool. Yeah. My goodness. Nope. Nope. Low key, I feel like the Harvest should have a Winter Wonderland version or something, or somewhat like, or somewhat. That would be peak. Gotcha. Winter Wonderland. So what would that look like when you say Winter Wonderland? Are you talking like blue and white? Bingo. Squid trainers will never restock. I'm sure squid trainers will restock eventually. I'm waiting for the squid trainer, um, what is it called? The custom order squid trainer to come back in stock because I would love to get a full blacked out squid trainer with tie hardware in magenta, the same way that I have the Unc Kraken. I think that would be sick. I would love, honestly, I would love to have a entire squid lineup of Baileys that are meeting that same colorway. Blacked out with the magenta hardware. That would be peak. Or the yellow gold thing. Uh, what yellow gold thing? Oh wait, I'm not gonna lie. I want a teal squid trainer with gold hardware. Okay, gotcha. That would look cool. Ugh, man. All right, my flipping has fallen apart. I think that means that it is time for Unc to start wrapping up the stream. Ethan's a nice dude. I agree. Ethan is a nice dude. But I mean, the community is full of nice people as far as I'm concerned. Um, all right. So to all my lurkers, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for getting out of this whatever you got out of it. I appreciate you for being here. Everybody who's been in the chat, thank you for interacting. We are going to wrap things up. We are going to shut things down. We are going to get on with the weekend and let you get on with yours. Hopefully everybody has a great rest of the day. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend, and hopefully everybody's off to a great start next week. Anyone who is dealing with changes that's causing them stress, as I said in the talking notes, know that you're not alone, but know that your feelings are valid. Change can be stressful, change can be scary. We all have to do it, and all we can do is our best. Wish all of you the best. But for now, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you guys in the next one. Love you.